Hi, welcome. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we will be going through a very interesting topic on how we need to respect our mother, how we need to respect a woman, in fact, and how we need to respect the entire planet, also called Mother Earth, so that it created many mothers across the globe, so that how much care we need to take for our Mother Earth. So let's try to have a little bit of understanding. And now, if someone asks you that whom would you love most, is your mother or father? If there isn't a choice, of course, what is your answer? And obviously, many people say, okay, I love both of them. But then they specifically, if someone gets to you into the core, I said, tell me, who do you love most? Either your mother or father. I'm sure 90% out of 100 will say mother. Now, why is that? I think it's that's the relationship or bond, or I think mother is the only person who loves you from the bottom of her heart, from the time you give birth until the time she is alive. And it doesn't matter how you treat her, or how you act and react, or how you misbehave with your parents. I'm sure that she's still going to love you till her last breath, and that's much of love is filled in her heart for each and every one of us. I don't know how my parents raised me till about, say, because when you're a child, all you know is, you go out and you play, and maybe they have their own baggages of sufferings they've gone through, or maybe they have their own issues, they have their own concerns. Someone asks you what happened at the age of 5, you don't remember anything unless until you're, still clearly call those vivid images. And now you can ask yourself, what is the youngest memory you have? What is the child youngest memory you have? Unless until your parents had some couple of pictures of yours, and if you can reconnect or recollect those memories is different. But pretty much you can't go back to the age of 5, 6, 7, and 10. It doesn't mean that they didn't take care of you at the time, and probably they must have gone to a lot of suffering to raise you if you have to happen 3 4 siblings. And I'm sure with the economy what we have 20 years ago, 15 years ago, my parents suffered a lot for them to grow 3 kids what they had. But yet mother has a lot of connection, which probably has to do with the nature, guaranteed. And then most of the time, I think you are more open to your mother. It's not that you don't like your father, and your father hates the entire kids or something. But also ask one thing: in entire your life, when you're a kid, who beats you most to discipline you? It's mother. But yet, who pampers you most? It's father. And in most of the cases, I would say. And yet, if someone asks you whom do you love most, it's your mother. Why is that gap? Why is that comparison? Why is that thing? I think it has to do more of the hugs mother had when she was a kid. It's different culture. I don't remember when I hugged my father. When he loves me, when I was a kid, probably he just used to kiss me on the cheek, on the forehead, etc. But it's not the same with my mother, and I can recall many instances she hugged me, she kissed me. At least, I'm not going when I was too kid because I don't remember anything. But I think it happens to all of us. And I think maybe there is some connection in our brain which makes when you're around your mother, and then you love and everything is different than your father. It doesn't mean that your father is not taking care of you, but I think more of a father role is going out and making money and then supporting the family and so on and so forth. But then pretty much you are not really connected with your father, and you're more connected with your mother and upbringing, and that's why she beats you a lot as well while you're growing up doing the naughty things. But eventually, when you grow up, it's your mother gets more place in your heart than your father. But I'm not saying that we should disturb that they had their own pains raising us all together. So, in my opinion, we should respect both of them. Like you have two eyes. when a kids grow up and then they tend to ignore their parents, which is really not good. And maybe for any reason you're working somewhere, you're living in a different place, but still they would want to hear from you. They would want to say, that hear from their own kids. This will you'll get to know only when your kids are treating you the same way you're about to treat or you're already treating your parents. And whether they need money or whether they don't need money, you should be in a position to support them. Okay, suppose they're well enough for, say, for example, they're good enough, sufficient enough for their necessities to go through. But it makes a lot of difference giving them a gift time to time in, say, their occasions, probably their wedding anniversaries or in their birthdays or any festive seasons. It makes a lot of difference. It's not that they're expecting something from you, but it's always a great gesture for you to, show them that you care most. You love them from the bottom of your heart, because end of the day, whatever you're doing, whatever you're accomplishing, it is because of them. Without them you're not here today, period. So the first person, which is a first or second person in your life whom you should be always indebted, is your mother and father. And that goes a long way. And then it takes time, that we get so much busy in our life, in our work and profession, so on and so forth, that your life gets into your wife and kids, and pretty much there is a little bit of distance, in some cases big gap between how you care, because it doesn't mean that they don't love you or they don't care, but probably they're giving you a space so that you have your life to lead. But it makes a lot of difference for you to reach out and talk to them and asking their well-being and knowing each other. And if they are in dependent on you, you better make sure that you take care of them, whatever the needs you needed, because that is the biggest regret you might have in the later stages when you reach to that stage. So, and that's something that we all need to respect. Now, coming to the respect point again, I'm connecting with some other dots, that many people disrespect women in many forms, and then they're always looked in a with a different eye. They're not equal. They're only for the house, and all. This is all bullshit, I would say, because without a woman, this world never exists and will not exist, period. You can do all whatever the logics you want to put. So it makes our responsibility to take care of the woman, not only your mother, probably your sisters, and looking at each and every one, thinking that, man, they are part of this society, and then you don't need to do any major changes or major respect, doing that, but at least respect as they are. A number of cases you see in terms of rapes, injustice in the jobs, and so on and so forth. There is so much that we as a society need to take to the next level and respect the woman as she is. And everybody has a mother, and then all of a sudden, when you grown up and then you reach your your adult age, you look at the woman, a different woman, with set of that different eyes. And why? Yes, at some point of time you want to get married and so on and so forth, but respecting as for who they are, and valuing them and giving the utmost, taking them with the utmost care is most important, at least to start in your own families. And I said, I read so many stories that, when the kids grow up, there are, the parents are working when they're, 60s and 70s to leave their means because the kids abandon them. Or the husband is beating wife like crazy left, right, and center because she's not doing something, or she's not cooking properly, or she's not taking care of the kids. There are so many nonsense. Any men who disrespect a woman in their own families must be given this task. You tie that person up for 3 months with 1 kilo, the next 3 months with the 2 kilos of stone, and next 3 months with the 3 kilos of stone without removing it, and see how he feels. And I guarantee you, the person, if he has a little bit of moral and a little bit of a heart at least, he fall on the mother feet and the woman of his life feet and ask all the apologies he would want to ask, and whoever is doing it. And I think that's the best thing, that they will understand what pain a woman go through when she carries someone for 3 months. Just carry 1 kilo of weight on your hand and see how long can you hold it. Just 1 kilo of, say, stone weight or whatever it is. And I guarantee you, any money, if you carry that in a same position what I put, for about say 5 hours, I say for 24 hours, if you keep that without leaving it, I give you any money you want and a bet, because that's not going to be possible. Even if I carry a glass of water, it's going to be so heavy in 6 hours or 7 hours the time, because that's how it is. And now imagine a woman carrying a little baby for 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. How much respect do you need to give to that person? Even say she did the blunders and she don't respect you, whatever it could be you're bitching about. And imagine that. Imagine that. And then say, for example, if you have 2 or 3 kids, I mean, they just don't pop up just because you have a woman. I mean, I'm sure she has to go through some struggle. So that is some understanding. And this is something that I would teach my kids, to respect women as they are. We need to respect women as they are. And as long as we do it, I'm sure everyone will prosper in many ways. She's bringing you your own kids to the world, taking all the suffering, and then, many people are disrespecting a woman because she brings the kids, and then say proudly that I'm a proud father. Basically, you don't get all those benefits, you don't get all those privileges without a woman. Now, if someone sees a woman giving a delivery to a boy or girl, pretty much that you would never disrespect in your life any woman in your life, any woman. And first you will touch your wife's feet, and the second you go and you hug your mother and touch their feet, because how much pain they go through, and then how much pain your mother gone through while you were a baby, when you look at it only, you will understand that kind of a difference. And now when someone gets to that kind of understanding, and then you don't see the small silly things, probably in the later stages you come across, some arguments on this said this, they said that, I don't like this, I don't like that. These are all small and little when you compare, what kind of sacrifices they did for you to exist, first of all. So that is about women. I hope that makes a little bit of giving you more understanding. I'm not saying that that you are being disrespectful, but then there are many people who is being disrespectful for women. So that's why I thought, like, let me share something that what I feel, and which can have a different views again. And if you think that that makes a difference, and then people should know, how they should value a woman. She is the very source that we all exist today. And if there is no woman, that's it, period. After 7.5 billion, say for example, all 7.5 billion people turn as a males, what happens in, say, after 100 years? Ask your question logically and see if it happens. Well, nature does its part, and I'm sure that there is a reason why we all here. But at the same time, that we need to respect and value each and everybody's contribution, and respecting as who they are. And I'm not saying that I don't like my father, I don't like my mother, or else I like only my mother and I don't like my father. But they both are equal in their thing, and then they were doing best they could to get you where you are today. But at the same time, end of the day, how we value them and then how we take care of them when they grow old, or at the same time, if reaching out them and talking to them time to time and knowing their well-being, it makes all the difference. Because once they're gone, they're gone. I mean, there's no way that you're going to call back and find out, hey, how you doing. It's so you need to do all those things while they're around, while they are here, so that you feel better, will feel good, and so on and so forth. Now, imagine all these Mothers are creators. So many mothers are creators on this planet. And the big Mother Earth, and what kind of pain are we giving to that big Mother Earth in terms of pollution, in terms of plastic, in terms of, the global warming, and each and every one of us contributing in a bigger way. Now, if you look back like 200 years ago, 300 years ago, I mean, when the Industrial Revolution did not even started. Now, if you look at that, and how the global warming at that time, and then how what we are doing now, and then how the contributions we all as a humans made is really suffering. If you happen to see some of the nice documentaries on Netflix, it will open up your eyes on how badly we are treating this mother planet Earth. And that is something that we really, as a responsible individuals or responsible person, you don't need to change the world, change yourself, change your family. And that is the smallest thing that you could do. Respecting the woman first, all the women in your house, so that gives you a little bit of awareness, and you should respect the other person around you as well. And then respecting the planet Earth, because that's a very source that we are standing here to, live our life, and as long as we are here. So take care of your mother and many mothers around the world. Respect many mothers around the world, and then more importantly, respect our Mother Earth with smallest action to the smallest action that you can do to protect our Mother Earth in many aspects by contributing to a green environment rather than polluting with all the effects we do. Stay well, stay blessed. I hope that's a little bit informative on bigger things which I wanted to say. And you do leave your comments and thoughts on what are your thoughts on, and what are the things that you have experienced. And thank you, and see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.